'Tis the season, the most wonderful time of the year. Celebration with friends and family. It's time to pay tribute to this jolly month. So join us as we get into the Christmas spirit. You've heard of Elf on the Shelf, but this is Venom on the Shelf.
And a huge hello and welcome to our special guest star today, Tammy.
Hi guys, so excited to be here. We're going to have so much fun. Don't you just love the holidays with all the Christmas cheer and the presents?
Yeah, right, that's enough. Aladdin! I remember loving the story and gorgeous animation, the iconic songs, and it was just a blast to watch. I also grew up watching the TV series spin-off and have nothing but great memories of Aladdin. A poor thief in Agrabah with his pet monkey Abu who meets a Princess Jasmine, but the difference of classes make their infatuation impossible, before he finds a magic lamp with a genie, voiced by Robin Williams, granting him 3 wishes, while an evil dickwit called Jafar is trying to steal his woman and the genie for his own.
I rarely pick favorites. Aladdin is one of the exceptions I'd recommend to anyone to go see. I could relate to Princess Jasmine and her feelings of having her life lived for her. In addition, she was one of the first non-Caucasian Disney princesses to actually start off as being a princess. Then there's the idea of being in a relationship with someone who understands what you're going through at the same time you're going through it. The magic in the movie and the idea of wish fulfillment, who wouldn't want their heart's desires given to them in seconds? The whole theme behind the movie is freedom, the different ways we get what we want, and the ideas on what's holding us back. So even though Disney doesn't have the best track record for these things, I was curious when I found out they were doing a remake.
Don't mention it.
Directed by Guy Ritchie, he wanted to honour the musical numbers of the original, but to try something new at the same time, telling the story in a non-linear style. But the movie wasn't without controversy.
They wanted the film to be more diverse, with actors in addition to their Arabian cast of different backgrounds. This led to the casting of Naomi Scott as Jasmine. With an English father and a Ugandan Indian mother, this led to backlash. People accused the studio of being prejudiced for not hiring an Arabian or Middle Eastern actress.
Furthermore, Billy Magnussen was cast in the movie, who was an entirely new character, not in the original, playing a smug prince. This, again, led to criticism, accusing the filmmakers of whitewashing when the movie is actually set in the Middle East.
It was made even worse when Caucasian extras were given brown makeup to blend in with the native actors. This caused an uproar, but Disney claimed it was only used on a few Caucasian extras and only when absolutely necessary.
That's your personal business.
As always, the film was a pretty big hit, earning $1 billion and receiving mixed reviews. Some thought it was different enough to be a unique re-envisioning, while others called it a complete betrayal of the original. Though it has the highest Rotten Tomatoes score of all the Disney remakes. But it made enough money for Disney to confirm a sequel is in the works, a possible prequel, and a spin-off. So, will this be a Jungle Book, which is really good, a Beauty and the Beast, which is okay, or a Lion King, which is complete dog shit?
And here it is, folks, Aladdin 2019. The movie opens with Will Smith as a merchant, which is weird because it was well publicized that Will Smith was supposed to be the genie. For a movie that's trying to do its own thing, it instantly copies the original, showing that Will Smith is supposed to be Robin Williams.
What's so special about a lamp?
Oh, this is a magic lamp.
Maybe if you sing. It's better when you sing.
No singing.
But can I interest you in a cool 1990s rap number? But my god, Will, please never sing again. This is painful! The only thing worse than Will Smith's awful singing is the fact that they plastered it with auto-tune and they don't even try to hide it. This is the main song and it's completely destroyed. They're introducing the story with this?
Arabian Nights, like Arabian days.
Oh my god!
More than not, are hotter than hot.
Oh,
in
that's
a lot
hot.
of good
That's hot.
ways. Arabian Nights.
No! Never again!
I actually don't mind Will Smith singing in this. Sure, he's better at rapping, but it's not the ear-bleeding noise most people would lead you to believe. It also might be because I'm a little auto-tune deaf. It's a serious problem. A lot of people around the world suffer from it. I also think they had problems with the lyrics. In the animated original, the home version is different from the theatrical version. But here, you can't help but spot the blatant political correctness. Instead of saying,
"It's barbaric, but hey, it's home,"
they say,
It's chaotic, but hey, It's home.
And they tend to focus more on exploring the different cultures than the harshness of the Arabian desert.
The song is just so painful. I don't even understand. Why not just get Will Smith to lip sync to someone who could actually carry a tune?
I like how they show more of the beauty of Agrabah in this version. They show it all, from the bazaar all the way to the palace. I mean, as a standalone film, this scene seems kinda important. They let the Cave of Wonders have his one line, and then they continue the music after someone just dies. Either have the music continue after the scene is finished, or start the scene after the music.
He's a lovely monkey.
And that's a lovely necklace.
Yeah, sure, you were looking at a necklace. Alright, mate. Alright, I must admit, CGI Abu is actually pretty good. I do like the cinematography and overall design of the city. It looks great and captures the feel of Aladdin really well. So we meet the titular hero as he tricks a guy with theft and quick wit to save Jasmine.
Here you go.
Wait!
This is what you wanted, right?
Thank you.
Okay, and an apple for your troubles.
Nice.
That was my. I'm not leaving without my bracelet.
You mean this bracelet? Come on.
Okay, that was kind of badass. That's when he takes her to evade the guards, and he actually is kind of cool. The next song kicks in, and he's actually an alright singer. This number is okay.
I really hate this version of the song. It's just talk singing. Who talks like that? Or who sings like that? In the original version, the singing is smooth and melodical. In this version, it's just jarring, where they cut the singing to fit in the actions.
There are stairs, you know.
Where's the fun in that?
Man, Aladdin's actually kind of cool. No! Don't make me like a character! I am not allowed to like this movie or any of the characters!
Here's a nice change. In this version, the villagers actually like Aladdin enough to help him out, instead of in the original, where they're too absorbed in their own problems.
Why are you repeating everything I say? The pole.
You will always remember this as the day that you almost caught Captain Jack Sparrow.
But this is a major problem I have here.
Uh-oh.
Take it easy.
In the current woke version of Aladdin, they're supposed to show a strong and surprising feminine lead. In the original, Aladdin lays a plank out for Jasmine, thinking because she got herself into trouble, she's probably naive and would play it safe. But Jasmine gets her own pole and leaps the buildings herself, causing Aladdin's jaw to drop, uttering the line,
I'm a fast learner.
But here, Jasmine is terrified. She's shaking like a leaf. How can the 1992 version of Jasmine be braver and more adventurous than the 2019 version? It's not even her decision to jump. Aladdin pushes the pole towards her and tells her to jump as if it's the easiest thing ever, like he's encouraging a little kid on their first day of school. She's forced into it with no other options.
I mean, it is quite cool and charming as he sings this upbeat song whilst evading the guards over the rooftops. It looks pretty cool. And that's when we meet Jafar, who's trying to find the magic lamp, but he looks more like some 15-year-old who borrowed his dad's clothes and is trying to sound evil, leaving nasty comments on YouTube telling people to kill themselves. This isn't a Disney villain.
Here, Aladdin is portrayed as more resourceful, creating inventions to make life on the streets easier.
Is this yours?
It's kind of borrowed.
Ah, just like the script. Okay, so Jasmine isn't allowed out, which is why she's undercover, and Aladdin has no idea he's now with the princess. Look, I know nobody would actually recognise her anyway, but I do find it funny how her genius disguise is simply a headdress. She's been taking stealth advice from Clark Kent. But it doesn't matter, she believes he's stolen her mother's bracelet and storms off before Aladdin sings another song.
Riff raff. Street rat. I don't buy that.
It actually is pretty good, and I really like this guy. Is that allowed?
I like how in this version, Aladdin is frustrated because people underestimate him, and he's disappointed because he's let someone down that he truly cares about, instead of being made a fool of by some random prince.
So Jasmine is introduced to some weird European douchebag, but man, the CGI of Shere Khan looks great! And then he eats the prick. Good.
Shirobot is our ally.
Was our ally.
You would drag us into a war with our oldest...
And you would allow your kingdom to sink into ruin for mere sentiment.
Jafar!
But sir, I am a big boy. Let me be evil. He even manages to hypnotize the Sultan to invade another kingdom, but he still doesn't look like a villain. What I don't get is, why doesn't the Sultan just say that she can marry Jafar? I mean, his primary concern is his daughter needs to find a husband. A huge subplot in the original is Jafar trying to marry Jasmine. But here, the Sultan rants about how he needs to find her a husband while Jafar is right there, and this suggestion never comes up. Oh well, she sings a song and she actually has a really nice voice, singing about how her life is being decided for her and she feels conflicted. I don't know, this just seems rushed and like it should have been later on in the movie. We're only 23 minutes in.
I guess they changed the scene at the bazaar to show that Aladdin was the only one who had faith in Jasmine. I still think it would have been better if Jasmine were able to show her competency to Aladdin and have her in turn be shocked that Aladdin agreed with her. It shows that the two are similar, that both are underestimated, and that Diamond in the Rough theme goes far, where riches don't guarantee an easy life, and poverty doesn't mean you can't make the most out of things.
He's tall and handsome, and yes, he's a little dim, but you're just getting married. It's not like you have to talk to him.
Okay, that was funny. So Aladdin uses a disguise to sneak in and return the bracelet that Abu stole from her. But she continues to pretend to be her servant.
How did you get past the guards?
That was challenging, but I have my ways. While the princess is out, would you like to go for a stroll?
I don't even get it. How has he not figured this out? She practically admitted it earlier.
You should tell the princess to get out more. The people haven't seen her in years.
They won't let her. Ever since the queen.
Dumbass.
Oh, I'm the princess, yes?
Seriously? He still doesn't realise? You know what? I'll take back all my compliments earlier. This guy's a dumbass. But his disguise isn't good enough as he is caught by Jafar and thrown into the desert. Oh well, I think Bruce Wayne is in a cave somewhere nearby. Maybe he can help.
Are you saying that was the princess?
How fucking dumb are you? But Jafar offers to help Aladdin become rich in order to impress Jasmine, and he takes him to a cave to bring him the magic lamp.
I like how in this version, Jafar serves as a cautionary tale. Like Aladdin, Jafar used to be living on the streets, but instead of working with people, he used them and cared very little about how they fared. In contrast, Aladdin uses his own skills to get by. He was hungry, and he gave his last remaining food to orphans, knowing they needed it more. Making villains dimensional is more interesting than just saying, "I'm evil, deal with it."
I love how he clearly just says only one can enter, but then Abu goes in with him. So Abu clearly doesn't count, but then they're about to break a rule thanks to Abu. Does he count or doesn't he? Make up your mind! So they enter that room from the Deathly Hallows, but they can't touch any treasure except for the lamp. But of course Abu can't help himself and fucks it up. God damn it, Abu, you had one job!
So jumping on coins and knocking stuff over is fine, but catching a jewel as it falls and looking at it counts as taking the treasure? I guess it's a 5-second rule?
Why are you being weird?
And that's when the cave decides to turn into the year 2020. To be fair, the special effects do look pretty solid. But the magic carpet manages to save them. I gotta laugh at when they first discover the carpet earlier trapped, Aladdin isn't even shocked to discover a magic flying carpet.
I can see how Carpet got trapped in the first place, but that would mean that other people passed the Cave of Wonders Diamond in the Rough challenge and survived. But Jafar kept going on and on about how he never found the diamond in the rough. So, doesn't really make sense.
So Aladdin has the lamp, but Jafar refuses to help him up the cliff unless he gives him it. And he actually falls for this. Our hero is a fucking idiot! Oh well, he manages to survive and steal the lamp back, but they're still stuck inside the cave.
This actually makes more sense. Instead of haphazardly finding the genie by trying to make out a dusty inscription, rather than rationalizing how to escape being buried alive, they actually ask the one person who might know more about their situation than they do, Carpet. And Carpet looks at them and tells them, "Hey, use the lamp."
And there he is. Will Smith does his best trying so hard to sound ominous and booming, but he just looks ridiculous. He does turn goofy and tries to go for the comedy route, but I just can't take it seriously. Look at him!
So, you really don't know who I am? Genie, wishes, lamp.
I'm Kazam! Duh!
Well, Alibaba, he had them 40 thieves. Shahrazad, he had 1,000 tales. But Master, you're in luck because up your sleeve, you got a genie that never fails!
What the fuck am I watching?
Woo! Back up. Uh-oh. Watch out. You done wound me up. About to show you what I'm working with. Well, Alibaba, he had them 40 thieves. Shahrazad, he had 1,000 tales. But Master, you're in luck because up your sleeves, you got a brand of magic never fails. You got some power in your corner now. Heavy ammunition in your camp.
This is awful. This is Cringe Fest 2019. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Will Smith, absolutely love him, he's one of my favourite actors, but he's trying way too hard here. It's like he's practically going, oh look, I'm a genie, I'm as good as Williams. No! This is clearly an imitation, which is weird because Smith initially was terrified of doing this role, worried that he wouldn't be able to fill Robin's shoes. Well, what the hell is this then? On an amusing note, Jim Carrey was actually the first choice. But even funnier, WWE legend Bret Hart had previously played the genie in a Canadian version, and he was so upset that he didn't get cast in this. Yes, the guy's had a stroke and has had cancer and is struggling with his health and can barely walk. Wasn't asked to be an animated genie running around with loads of energy.
That's not quite how it works, though.
But he was upset because he believes he was more iconic and memorable as the genie than Robin Williams. Just how hard did Goldberg kick you in the head, Brett?
If I hear that one more time.
In this rendition, they make more use of Will Smith's talents as a rapper. Before I mentioned I didn't like One Jump because it was talk singing. Here, Will Smith raps and sings on beat, and it works. I like the pop-locking dance style masked with a puppet on a string. Live action does allow the actors to showcase their talents without having to resort to cartoon magic. Well, except for CGI. Is it just me, or is this genie a lot more pompous than the original?
But then I'll say, Mr. Man, what's your name? Whatever, what will your pleasure be?
I guess he's living up to Aladdin's ignorance since he's the master. Oh, you'll get used to me zapping you around, making you sick. Probably from dealing with people who didn't really care that much about him. Then again, Will Smith can be borderline arrogant sometimes.
I will admit, this Carlton tribute is a really cool nod.
You can clap now.
No, Will. There'll be no clapping when it comes to this movie.
You can't wish for more wishes. 3 is enough.
Damn, that's always my plan.
I wish for you to get us out of this cave.
Bam! He has made his first wish.
Thank you for choosing carpets, camels, and caravans. Please don't forget to tip your genie on the way out.
Okay, that is the only moment so far where Will Smith has genuinely captured the feel of the original genie. But, okay, so this doesn't actually count as Aladdin's first wish, since Abu technically made it. I don't know, it's stupid. But he wishes them out of the cave. Why doesn't he just wish to be with Jasmine right now? I mean, he literally wishes to be outside in the desert in the middle of nowhere. Idiot.
Like that.
Still blue?
Kapaya.
We need to save money on CGI and makeup.
Only way a genie gets to be free is if the owner of the lamp uses one of his wishes to set him free. And the last time that happened was like the 4th of Neverary.
Gee, I wonder what's going to happen.
And here's another awesome recurring theme in both films. Each of the main characters is trapped in some way, but also have aspects of freedom, despite being from different backgrounds. Aladdin is constrained by poverty, but because he has no family, he answers to no one. Jasmine has her life planned out for her, but she'll never know the perils of being hungry, which is probably why she thinks nothing of giving the kids of the bazaar something to eat. She's doted on by everyone, which is pointed out by Dahlia, but she's trapped in her own mind, constantly doubting herself and being doubted by others, despite knowing deep down she's capable of great things. Jafar's narcissism and ambition keep him endlessly searching for someone to find the lamp for him, but he's a wizard with ultimate powers, and he serves the Sultan, the most powerful man in the country. Like Aladdin, he answers to nobody, but this didn't free him from his desire to be number one. Genie's been a slave all his life. He can do anything as long as someone tells him to do it. He's dependent on others, but he has the potential to do whatever he wants. It's also a cautionary tale of not making use of what you have, comparing the hero to the villain. Aladdin makes use of his resources, but Jafar uses others, and then he wonders why people think he's second best.
Seen that face before. Who is she? Who's the girl?
She's a princess.
Oh, aren't they all? Treat your woman like a queen, I always say.
And if she wants to have an affair, just let her. Isn't that right, Will?
Hey, can you make me a prince?
There is a lot of gray area in make me a prince. I could just make you a prince.
Oh, no.
Right, you'll be snuggled up with that dude for the rest of your life.
Y'all see my palace?
Also, fun fact, this prince is intentionally wearing the same colours as the Fresh Prince logo. Okay, that was a clever touch. But Jesus Christ, how fucking long is this scene of him turning Aladdin into a prince?
They do flit around here a lot, but I like getting a glimpse of the choreography, so I don't mind it as much.
Who am I?
Prince Ali?
But you won't be nominated for an Oscar like I was. So they plan to return to Agrabah to impress Jasmine, but Genie turns Abu into an elephant. shouldn't that constitute as a wish as well? I mean, he gets them back to the palace too. I mean, that's 2 wishes. I'm glad this won't be a recurring problem throughout the entire film. I mean, several times he helps him out as a favour without them counting as wishes. So what's even the point of the wishes? He can just be nice and help him free of charge.
Oh, you'll get used to it.
So they have a parade and this song is actually alright.
Hey, clear the way in the old bazaar. Hey, you, let us through. It's a brand new start.
And that's when he and Genie, pretending to be his servant, meet Jasmine and the Sultan.
Naturally, his outward appearance wouldn't prepare him to be as smooth as he was in the original. It just humanizes him.
I'm afraid I'm unfamiliar with Agrabah.
Well,
It's south. We have a north and a south.
It's near, if you were to go, it's...
Around there, you can find it, if you just look.
How do any of them fall for this? Are none of these characters born with a brain?
We have jams.
Jam?
Jams. Okay, this movie is worth watching just to hear Jafar angrily say the word jams.
It's, very expensive.
And what do you hope to buy with this expensive?
You.
Okay, that was funny.
Are you suggesting I'm for sale?
Of course. Not. No, of course not. No.
Damn it, this is hilarious.
It's cold and it's dark in that lamp, but I prefer it to this.
Stop making me laugh.
In 10,000 years, I've never been that embarrassed.
Okay, that scene was so funny. It kind of redeems the movie a whole lot. Great job. Even though Aladdin clearly had no problems talking to Jasmine earlier. What happened to all that confidence? And you're going to tell me it's because he didn't realise that she was a princess and now he knows, so therefore he's nervous and stumbling over his words. But when he thought that Dahlia was the princess, he also wasn't nervous and didn't struggle with his words there. So this just doesn't make any sense. It's just put in for a comedy bit. Just inconsistent.
Yeah, it seems like people are only able to bring out the confidence of others in this movie. Like Aladdin was Jasmine, Genie was Aladdin, and Aladdin unintentionally was Genie, after Genie figures out he's the one in charge. Jasmine really emasculates Aladdin here, first with the bracelet, and now with his faux pas while he's talking to her.
I don't believe we've been properly introduced.
Jafar.
I took my daddy's clothes and now I'm bad. I'm very, very bad. So we get a party scene with the European guy who died earlier, pestering Jasmine while Aladdin is too scared to talk to her. The genie has his back and gets him to dance with her and dance amazingly well. Is this a wish or just another freebie because the movie can't make up its fucking mind?
You need to get me over there.
Is that an official wish?
No, it's a favor for a friend.
Yeah, see, genies don't really have friends. You ain't never had a friend like me.
So what's even the point of the wishes to begin with? You've been doing favours for the entire movie. All the advice you've given him, the elephant, the dancing.
I was noticing how pleasant the evening is. At the party, I noticed you noticing how pleasant I am.
How the hell is Will Smith this bad at flirting? It's Will Smith! And he's a magic genie.
The kid is contagious.
Okay, they saved it. But uh-oh, Aladdin is acting a bit sus, so Jasmine confronts him about the location of his supposed kingdom. He seeks help, but Genie refuses and tries to convince him to be himself and tell her the truth. So, why did he even bother turning him into a prince in the first place then? Aladdin said, hey, turn me into a prince to trick this girl, and Genie said, sure, let's go trick this girl. And now he's like, no, don't trick this girl, doesn't make sense. Just be yourself, and then he helps him anyway. So what, is this wish number 4? What are the rules? And why is the map of the entire world so small?
Roger.
Make a Jungle Book 2.
I love how calm Aladdin is knowing he's within an inch of his life. Maybe he's reacting to finding out what they actually use for the tiger saliva.
So Aladdin escapes on the magic carpet, and this is such a cliched shot at this point. Jumping off a ledge and rising back up on some object. It's been done to death. Before he takes her on a trip around the city for the famous love song. It's okay.
This is a really sweet and iconic scene, and finally a song they didn't completely butcher, but it's not as evident here that they're traveling around the world. In the original, you see the pyramids and the rooftops of China. Here you see palm trees and river dolphins, but the idea of leaving your mundane life to see something fantastic is incredible. Maybe that's why I always dreamed of flying, until I was actually in an airplane.
A whole new world.
Okay, I'll admit it, this is a pretty good rendition. The scene is quite charming, but this whole relationship is built around lies and deception. She likes him for something he's not. They're cute together, sure, but the entire message is fucked.
One thing this movie did do better than the original is showing that we should bring out the best in others.
So how many names do you have, Prince Aladdin?
Wait, how long has she known that he's Aladdin?
But how could I not recognize you?
That's what I'm saying! So, earlier, Genie claimed the magic would cause nobody to recognize him, like, it's part of the spell. But now they're backpedaling because they realise they're making no sense, and they're claiming that they only see him differently because he's a prince, he's royalty, and people are blinded by superficiality. Which one is it? I don't care how cute they are, answer me!
We're in denial, so we only see what we want to see when it's convenient for us. Of course, Jasmine was a princess, but Aladdin saw her as a servant because then he could be with her. When Genie turned Aladdin into a prince, Jasmine wasn't expecting him, so she saw Prince Ali with her blank slate of memories. But then the cues jogged her memory into how good it felt to have someone believe in her and bring out the best in her. At that moment, her brain wanted to see Aladdin, so she saw him. Dahlia said it herself. Jasmine was believing what she thought she wanted to believe, so she fools her brain into thinking Aladdin is a prince once again, so that she can trust him.
Yep. He lies and said he was only pretending to be a servant boy earlier, so the lies continue! This is one of the worst relationships ever!
She figured out I was Aladdin. You said that wouldn't happen.
Wow. I mean, genie magic is really just a facade.
No, that is not what you said! Stop backpedaling!
I convinced her that I really was a prince.
You lied! Again!
Eventually, you are going to have to tell her the truth.
Eventually, I will tell her.
When? The wedding night? The christening of your 5th child?
I believe him.
Well, you're an idiot too. So Jafar finds out who he is and shoves him off a balcony to his death.
Well, that worked out nicely.
But no, Magic Carpet and Abu are there to save him. Well, actually, they're just chucking the lamp. Why can't the carpet dive under and get him? Why is the genie back in the lamp anyway? Oh well, of course he manages to get him out.
Hey, kid, okay, I can't get you out of this unless you make a wish.
Oh, bollocks! You've been helping him out this entire time! The movie can't make up its mind! The film doesn't even know what it's doing! He even cons the poor guy out of a wish! Just save his life for free! You've been doing it for the entire movie, you con artist! So they confront Jafar about the murder attempt, but he hypnotizes the Sultan. Anyone gonna step in and do something? Stop this? No? Alright.
You're a grave danger to Agrabah, and you shall be dealt with as such.
Baba, what are you saying?
He's hypnotized! You literally just watched it happen! Then Aladdin simply breaks the staff to end it. We get more scenes of Aladdin refusing to tell Jasmine the truth while Genie tries to talk sense into him. You are making it really difficult to root for him, guys. Just letting you know that.
10,000 years, I have never once, ever called a master a friend. I broke the rules for you.
That was a wish! That's not breaking the rules! You did your job! If anything, you broke the rules by giving him all the free favours!
I saved your life, and for what? You are breaking my heart here, kid.
You're breaking my heart.
But Jafar uses his sleight of hand capabilities to steal the lamp, which is pretty cool. Now that he doesn't have his magical powers, he has to rely on his own capabilities, and he finally gets what he wants.
Why does he look like a Smurf farted out in Avatar? So for his first wish, Genie makes Jafar the new Sultan, leading to the guards being forced to obey the law and worship him instead of Jasmine's father.
They could have done a much better job of showing the guards just follow who's in power. I mean, were they unhappy in their position? They were working at a palace. Or maybe they're afraid of the genie and whoever was commanding him. We never know.
Also, off topic, but how the hell did Jasmine even tame a wild tiger? They're predators! Its natural instinct is to eat your head! In the original, you can let it slide, it's animated, but here it doesn't work!
So Jasmine is taken away from her father, and then we enter woke Disney. I just don't understand why she's having a hissy fit in a room frozen in time. I get they're trying to simulate that she's having a pep talk in her mind, but the place for that would have been at the beginning of the movie when Jafar first told her to be quiet, or after she spoke to the guard about how loyalty is better than duty. The reprise and the song should have been switched so that she was going through things in her head in real time instead of shouting in vain at fake people.
I love this actress's performance. It is insane. The emotion in her eyes is incredible, and you can really feel her heart and soul in these vocals. She gave everything for this role. And weirdly, nearly an hour and 40 minutes in, she gives this huge epic speech to this one guard dude. Yep. An hour and 40 minutes of this guy being a nobody. Now we're nearly at the end and she's getting emotional and hyping him up as some loyal ally. Quit giving him unnecessary screen time and get on with it. And then the guard turns on Jafar and breaks the law. Yeah, all it took was one song and a speech and his entire life commitment and loyalty has completely changed.
Genie, I wish to become the most powerful sorcerer there is.
Oh no, he's gonna turn him into Dumbledore. But man, Jafar is turning into Thanos, snapping everyone into the abyss. But then he stops Aladdin and reveals the truth to Jasmine. Why is this even that big a deal? Jasmine literally did the exact same thing. She pretended to be a servant, and then met Aladdin, and then lied to him. I mean, he continued the lie. You're both compulsive liars. You should not be together. But oh well, he banishes Aladdin to the end of the earth, which is apparently Canada. Then he tortures the Sultan until Jasmine agrees to marry him. Well, it took 103 minutes for that important subplot to jump in, but hey, better late than never, I guess. Wait, why did he banish Abu with him? And the carpet? What the hell? Or what, did the carpet just so happen to somehow find him in the middle of Alaska? Oh well, we get to the wedding, but Jasmine does a runner and lands on the carpet. Somehow. How did they time that perfectly? The chase scene through the city does look pretty sick though, I can't lie.
In the original, Jafar transforms into a giant king cobra. In this version, Iago is transformed into a giant chicken, which a lot of people had problems with. Iago isn't exactly menacing in this movie. He makes a few quips, mimics people, and gets a key. That's it. In the original, Iago shows moments of anger. He knocks a flamingo off its feet, and he even shoves crackers down the Sultan's throat. I think it would be way more intimidating if it was Jafar chasing after them, especially as a cobra. Being chased by a giant parrot is just not that big a deal. Granted, being chased by a giant anything would be intimidating, but still.
Why doesn't he just rub the lamp during this chase? Seriously, Aladdin could just rub the lamp right now and wish all of this away. Then Jasmine could rub it and boom, 3 more wishes. It's not hard.
I am the greatest sorcerer the world has ever seen. I will create an empire that history cannot ignore. I can destroy cities.
Do you see this? Do you see me baring my teeth? That means this shit is serious.
So Aladdin uses reverse psychology, and because every character in this movie is an idiot, it works! As Jafar wishes to become the most powerful being in the entire universe, even stronger than the genie. So he turns him into a genie with no master. So he's trapped in the lamp. I mean, surely a god would be the most powerful being, but okay.
But then Aladdin finally apologized to Jasmine for lying.
So where's her apology? This is a terrible couple!
Third and final wish.
I wish to set you free.
What a shocker! But weirdly, unlike the original where the genie was free but kept his powers, here he's now completely human, and I actually kind of like that a bit more. It is a really sweet moment.
I'm kind of torn as to whether it's better that they told us Genie was the merchant, or whether it should have been left up to our imaginations. It's a novelty aspect of the remake, and it does elaborate on what Genie did with his newfound freedom.
What are you gonna do now?
Probably tell my son to quit being so cringy online.
When do we leave? Also, I want children.
Accurate. So the Sultan steps down and makes Jasmine queen, which means she can change the law to marry Aladdin. I always love how in these movies there's nothing in between. It's either single and alone or marriage. The possibility of just dating and seeing where it goes isn't an option. No, just, I'm gonna marry this man. And then we get more scenes over the credits.
At least it's a smoother ending than...
Made you look.
And that was Aladdin 2019. It's alright.
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up.
If it wasn't for the two lead acting performances, it would suck pretty hard. I've had a lot of people moan about the guy who plays Aladdin saying he didn't show emotion, but I disagree. I really liked his performance. Will Smith does fine with what he's given, but considering it's Will Smith, you expect a lot more. The song renditions are fine, except for the opening, but the story is so inconsistent. The love story is built on a foundation of lies, the rules make no sense. It has nice cinematography and some funny moments, but it's just sort of there. I'm amazed that a movie that's so bland and lifeless earned $1 billion. I'd probably recommend it if you're a Disney fan, but it's certainly nothing special.
As a remake of my favorite film, this never stood a chance. I don't recall anything that's better than the original. As a standalone film, I enjoyed the choreography, and the fact that they stressed you should bring out the best in people, lifting them up rather than tearing them down. I hated what they did to Jasmine, however. Trying to act woke, it just fell flat. Jasmine mostly fantasized about standing up for herself rather than actually doing it, showing she was just scared and not confident. In the original, she always fought to explore the streets of Agrabah, fought to get Aladdin out of prison, and fought against being objectified, succeeding in making Aladdin, Jafar, and Sultan feel awkward when she was. I like that Jafar was motivated behind his actions in this film, and serves as a cautionary tale of what Aladdin could be. Iago was just a puppet in this. In the original, he had his own ideas that advanced the plot along. Here, he was just a tool for Jafar to use. Although I didn't like One Jump, I did like their rendition of A Whole New World and Friend Like Me. The original songs were great as well. I do like how they explain what happened to Genie after he found his freedom. What they redid missed the mark, whether it was the timing of their new songs, the overt feminism, or the climactic bad guy. They could have also explained Shearbad better. Sure, it was sad that Jafar was going to destroy it, but aside from being Jasmine's mother's hometown, we had no emotional connection. We didn't even see it. It would have been a perfect opportunity for them to put it in A Whole New World. If I'd seen this movie as a kid, I probably would have enjoyed it better, but right now it's passable at best. Compared to the animated version, it will always be second.